Welcome back, traders. Continuing the 2024 backtesting series, we're nearing the end. This time we're going to be backtesting the last week of November, so it'll be November the 25th through the 29th. The 28th is going to be a holiday, Thanksgiving Thursday, so we're going to be skipping Thursday, and then Friday I anticipate that we may not have a trade as well, because typically the day after a holiday is very tight consolidation, not much going on anyways. So pretty much Monday through Wednesday are going to be the days that I'm looking for any opportunities. Now, looking at the daily chart, we're kind of in a consolidation now. You know, we did make all-time highs, but being this week is a holiday week, I don't expect too much to happen. So I actually want to think that price is going to just stay within the daily range from this high to this low. So the obvious target is going to be this daily fair value gap to the upside. If we do go down to the downside, we have sell side down here and we have a small little fair value gap. I mean, I guess we could also go for the sell side down here with this weekly volume imbalance. So that is certainly a possibility, but I think with this bounce from this fair value gap, my initial target is going to be this daily SIBI. All right, so Monday, November 18th, 8 o'clock in the morning, and we can see that we are trading currently in that daily BISI in the lower half. Now back all the way up here, down here, we have relative equal lows. This is the hourly chart. Zooming in here, we do have a swing low down here as well. Now it's currently coming into this 1 hour fair value gap, but we do have buy side, short-term buy side above here with the fair value gap here as well. And remember, this daily SIBI, that's going to be my initial target for this week. I'm looking for it to go up, but you know, there is a chance we may go down for those relative equal lows. Again, like I said, we're in consolidation, so kind of want to have a neutral bias and not really go too extreme in either direction. Looking at the 15-minute, you can see not much is going on, so we'll just go ahead and run through the price action. I'm thinking initially we may get a sweep to this low, and if I can see some rejection and bounce up for these equal highs, that's what I'll look for. Now, if we start going above this daily fair value gap, of course, we got to aim for this daily SIBI over here. All right, guys, starting over, this is Monday, November 25th. The previous analysis, I made a mistake. I had it set for November 18th, but now we're on the correct time. So this is Monday, November 25th, 8 o'clock in the morning. You can see the time set right here. So the relative equal lows I had mentioned earlier were down here. But of course, we had already swept this sell side and we are trading up above this daily BISI. Now it looks like we've already reached the daily SIBI, unfortunately, pre-market. So from here, we'll see if we can trade through it or if we're going to use it as rejection. We do have a little gap here. This is going to be the new week opening gap. I'll go ahead and just highlight it in gray, something like this just for today. All right, so I'm extending it and now going down to the 15-minute. Not seeing much, right? It's just tight consolidation. We're going to get a sweep of this low, maybe go into the new week opening gap and they have a bounce up. So that will be an idea for a long. Are we going to initially go into this daily SIBI and then have displacement down lower? So that will be an idea for a short, and we could aim for the lows down here. But currently, you know, we don't really know what's going on. Like I said, I want to go in with a neutral bias. So just going to see what 8:30 and 9:30 does. And then from there, we'll start developing our strategy. All right, so just before 9:30, 8:30, we did start rallying up into that daily SIBI. Went about halfway, retraced a little bit into this fair value gap, and then we went another run higher. Now, right here at 9:30, one of two things can happen. Either we have a complete reversal, we start going below this daily SIBI, we take out this low, and we start going down below here. That will be a tail for a short. The other thing is we could use this daily fair value, or sorry, this 5-minute fair value gap and rally up higher above this daily SIBI. If that's the case, I guess we can look for longs. The only problem is I'm not exactly sure what upside target we could aim for. I guess this high right here is what we can aim for if we go to the upside. So we'll go ahead and mark that out. And of course, to the downside, we're going to be looking for here. We could just come down here and then bounce. If we go through it, then I guess we can look for this sell side to be conservative or this one down here. All right, so 930, we did initially go down, but as you can see, we never took out this swing low. We just came back to rebalance this some, and then with this big displacement to the upside, it does look like we will go higher. I'm going to go ahead and try for a long, aiming for that position or aiming for that price level. So if I have my entry here at 40.75, I don't really want to see price go down below this candle. So I could just go ahead and put my stop at the low of this candle, or if I want to be a little bit tighter, I can keep it at the low of this order block. So we'll go ahead and do that. That'll give me about 40 points of risk. Let's go ahead and take a shot with this. I'm just going to go with one contract that will be 0.6% risk. And yeah, we'll see if we get comfort. Whoa, okay, so immediately we got destroyed. So yeah, got stopped out for a 0.6% risk. So let me go ahead and just, that was not good to see. I thought we were going to be going higher. Anyways, yeah, I think the spreadsheet was off screen. So here you guys can see I'm recording here as a loss, 0.6% negative there. And yeah, so with this displacement now, I got faked out, unfortunately. Looks like we may be going lower now. So let's see if we can get a confirmation fair value gap. So we took out the buy side. We have big displacement to the downside, market structure shift. Now, of course, too big of a risk to actually trade in here. What I want to see is some retracement back here and then create a confirmation SIBI for us to go short in, and then looking a little bit back. Of course, I'm going to be aiming for the new week opening gap. Below it though, I mean, there's not really much inefficiency here. We may not go below it. So I guess aiming for the new week opening gap probably is ideal. We're already so close to it. So what I want to see is some retracement, create a setup somewhere up here, and then we can, you know, try for a short for the new week opening gap. But unfortunately, I already tapped into it. So definitely going to be waiting for a confirmation fair value gap. Could be a seek and destroy day where we just go and take the high again. If that is the case, I'm going to not look to do anything and just see what the price action does and then move on to the next day, because you don't want to be messing with it if we are going to have seek and destroy. All right, so 11:45, we actually went up into this fair value gap here, right on the lower portion here. You can see we barely went into it, and then we created a fair value gap here. So technically, this is a confirmation fair value gap. I can go ahead and try for this. The timing, though, you know, it's a little late, but we could still have make something happen in the last, you know, 30 minutes or so. Not really seeing anything down here. I guess I could aim for the low, maybe even the high of this fair value gap. Let's go ahead and see if there's enough risk to reward. If there is, then I will go ahead and try for it. If not, then well, we'll just leave it. So here will be my entry and my stop. And how I like to measure is just do a projection from my stop to my entry. Okay, and you can see we have -1 right here, right at the high. So 1-to-1, I guess, is decent enough. We'll give it a shot as long as the risk is enough. I want to just go with 0.5% of risk because we did take that loss earlier today. So it looks like about 50 points. I guess it's okay. We can go ahead and take a shot at this. So I'm just going to do one contract. Most likely one contract will be over, you know, 0.5% risk, but as long as it's not above, like, let's say, you know, 0.6 or so, I guess it'll be okay. 0.8, it's a little wide. It's a little wide here. So I think I'm not gonna do it. I'm because the risk is a little too wide, I'm gonna stay away from it. We'll see if it works out, but not gonna do a trade here. The timing is not good. It's getting close to the end of my time window anyways, so it could just consolidate and then go above this high and maybe finish off somewhere in the equilibrium. So we'll walk it through. So if we did take a short, we would be enter in here. Remember, this is not a trade. It's starting to work, but we'll see whether, okay, so it actually did go for the target. So this would have worked out. Definitely would have worked out. I just was not willing to take it. So definitely no trade here. a missed opportunity. It would have worked out, but let's go ahead and take a look at the end of the day, see whether or not, well, just see how. So even though it did work out, didn't really go too much further. Like, I never really got down to the sell side I was looking for. Although, like I said, we could come up to just the high of this fair value gap. We consolidated, and now we are back up here into this fair value gap. So let's go ahead and go into the next day, and I guess we'll just see what we can do. This morning, November 26th, the Tuesday morning, 8 o'clock. So I do still have sell side down here. We kind of created relative equal lows yesterday, but with this rejection and going above this new week opening gap, I'm thinking we may go higher. We may go higher. Definitely if we start going above this daily fair value gap, I'll be flipping my bias to bullish and aiming for, well, I guess all-time highs. Right now, still going to be a little bit neutral. I think I'm going to be neutral until we get above this daily SIBI. That's going to make me turn bullish. And then I'm not really going to turn bearish until we start going down below this daily BISI. So still kind of being neutral today. We'll just take it as it go. All right, so this is after 9:30, and if you can't tell by my voice, I'm still feeling under the weather, so pretty low energy video, I think. But anyways, we have a drop down here, created relative equal lows here before 9:30, and with 9:30, we popped up into this daily SIBI. So now it's a matter of watching whether or not we're going to get displacement to the downside. If we reject here at this daily SIBI and we start going down, then I guess we can go lower, aiming for this swing low down here, and perhaps maybe some inefficiency lower. We'll take a look if that happens. If we go above this daily SIBI, well, then I'm going to be starting to turn my attention to the upside. I guess I could still go long if we come back into this inefficiency. If we have a fair value gap here, remember this candle's not done forming yet, but if we have a fair value gap and we have a confirmation fair value gap, then I can take a long. But right now, I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens. So we are showing some support, but immediate rejection at 50% of the daily SIBI. Pretty choppy right now, so not really going to do anything. Just waiting. And we do go down and swipe the sell side there. Those equal lows. But we haven't created a fair value gap. So without creating a fair value gap, I'm not really interested in going anywhere. Still just consolidating. And this is pretty typical, guys, on like a holiday week. You may not get a lot of good price action. So during the holiday weeks, the big money, they're on vacation, they're spending time with their family. They're not in the markets like, putting in big size. So you're not going to really see a lot of big volatility. So anyways, here we are. And you can see the whole morning pretty much just consolidation. We did swipe the sell side target, but definitely not a good day to trade. So I'm glad I wasn't tempted to push the button. Didn't really give me anything. So we'll take a look at the end of the day. More consolidation, but we did come back down here, and now we're back up to this daily SIBI, kind of like where we started at it with the 9:30 opening. So let's go ahead and move on to Wednesday, probably the last day of opportunity this week. And looking at the hourly, you can see still consolidation here. We do have relative equal lows here. So I will mark this out. I'm not sure which one's lower. I'll just mark it out here. And then, yeah, new week opening gap. So it looks like it's tapping into the new week opening gap at the highs, and we may be going for the upside. So I'm going to get rid of some of these lines here to not confuse you. What I'm looking at is the relative equal highs. So I'm looking for buy side actually. And the reason why I'm looking for buy side is because we've tapped into the new week opening gap a couple of times, and it doesn't look like it's wanting to go through it. So if it doesn't want to go to the downside, well, then we'll go for the upside. But we do have relative equal lows, so I would like to see a sweep of the lows and then go to the upside. But of course, the opposite can happen. We could sweep these highs, maybe even this high, and then start going down lower. But I think the setup looks a little bit better for the upside. We'll just have to see what happens at 8:30 and 9:30. All right, so 9:30. Between 8:30 and 9:30, we didn't really do much. But at 9:30, you can see big displacement here to the downside, taking out these relative equal lows that I was looking at. Went back down very close to that daily BISI. And we'll see what happens. I'm looking for a reversal here. I'm looking for now tapped into the daily BISI, created another fair value gap. Well, technically not yet, but we could have a fair value gap here. So we had displacement lower, came back up into this fair value gap, and now we are going lower still, creating a confirmation fair value gap. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and try for this, aiming for this swing low down here. And let's see on the 15-minute, can we see anything obvious? Not really. We did take out this low already. This may not be a good trade, but because it could completely reverse. If this trade doesn't work out and we are reversing, I'll be willing to flip long, looking for the buy side. But I'm going to go ahead and try for this fair value gap with my entry here. Okay, and we'll have my stop up here. Last time we poked into that SIBI. And with these two levels here, 864, 899, that's going to give me about a 35 point of risk. Okay, so as you can see that at 899, that risk is going to give me a 0.56%. So if I do two contracts, it's going to put me over 1%. So what I'm going to do is tighten up the risk a little bit. So instead of using 899, I'm going to use the high of this candle at 88.7. So with my risk at 88.7.75, if I do two contracts, that's going to put me under that 1%. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot for two contracts, and we'll keep a tighter risk. We'll see if we get in, and then I guess I'm aiming for the first partial at this low, and we'll see if we can hold the other one. But like I said before, we could just get stopped out or just never get picked up. We'll see. We'll go for a little bit longer, but yeah, it looks like it's running away. Like this fair value gap, I could have tried for this fair value gap. Maybe it would have given me a 1-to-1 trade. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel my trade now because it's kind of running away from me. So this may be one of those times where I just missed my opportunity. And let's go ahead and see. I think it's going to hit that sell side. Okay, we went ahead and swept the sell side there. Looking at the 1 hour, you can see we did take out the sell side. Oh, I mean, the idea was there, but it never came back to take me in here. With this fair value gap, I could have tried for this with my entry here and my risk up here. That just eyeballing it is going to give me a little bit better than 1-on-1, so I could have tried for that. I guess unfortunately I was a little slow in the trigger. Yeah, it happens, those missed opportunities. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what the rest of the morning looks like. I'm not really interested in shorts anymore, but if we start getting a reversal, I can go long, but I don't really see that happening the day before Thanksgiving. So just kind of walking through this a little bit. Okay, and one more click. And there we go. That is the morning action. Going for this sell side was the right decision, but just didn't get executed, unfortunately. So, oh, that's a shame, but it happens. Anyways, at least I was on the right track. So let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the day here. I don't expect much, the day before Thanksgiving. So yeah, pretty much it came back to equilibrium and consolidated, right? Equilibrium, we start off here, lower here, we're pretty much at the middle, consolidation. So I'm going to go ahead and just skip Thursday, skip over the holiday. We'll go straight to Friday morning on the 29th. Take a look at the hours, see what happened over the holiday. You can see Thursday here, not much consolidation. We went up a little bit into this new week opening gap, came back down to sweep the sell side, went back up to take the buy side. So looking at the hourly, kind of looks like seek and destroy, but you can see pretty much consolidation. Didn't go for any external liquidity. And now we are here on Friday. And just taking a look at the week. Monday, we started off here, create the Monday high of the week, Wednesday low of the week, and I expect Friday to not really do much. If anything, I want to see Friday go up for these relative equal highs here. But it may not even do that. We have short-term buy side here and short-term sell side here. Very tight range. maybe we could take one side and then aim for the other and then just call it a day. So let's go ahead and walk it through, see what happens at 8:30 and 9:30. Now the day after the holiday, because we haven't had trading in a while, 8:30 and 9:30 could give us a little bit of volatility, but either way, the day after a holiday, I don't expect much. So even with this sell side getting taken, I don't expect us to keep dropping lower. I want us to, I expect us to, reverse, maybe go for the other direction. So here we have a fair value gap. I guess, even here, I don't, just because, like I don't expect us to have a big move to one side or the other. Since we've taken out sell side already, maybe 9:30 can launch us up for these. Well, these highs look pretty flat, so maybe this will be the first partial. And depending on where this fair value gap closes in, I'll have my entry, and maybe I'll just go ahead and go with one contract. It's a pretty big. Well, I thought it was going to be big, but looking at it now, it's going to be about 32 points of risk. So maybe I can do two contracts, set up that sell side. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at the spreadsheet, and we'll take a chance on this before 9:30. I'm expecting 9:30 to give us some volatility to launch us to the buy side. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try for two contract. That'll put me at 1% risk exactly. And hopefully, hopefully we don't get stopped out right away. I'm looking for us to go for those relative equal highs. Yeah, I think first partial definitely, and then we could try to hold for that second target, and we could even try to go for those relative equal highs. But with two contracts, I think the safe play is to take one off here, and then I guess I can see whether or not we go for the second one, try to hold the second one. But yeah, let's see if we even get in. And of course, remember that fair value gap hasn't been okay, so I'm going to move this a little bit lower, and I'm going to adjust it. So there's my entry. Let's see if we can get in. And 9:30, please get us in, but don't stop us out. Goodness gracious. That's a lot. That's the risk you take whenever you go pre-market, right? Okay, so let's see. The entry was 28.48.5, and 2 here at the stop loss. I've not been good on the stops, man. 9:30. So we got taken out. Apps. I was expecting it come down to this inefficiency here without taking us out. But yeah, let's go ahead and walk it through still. If we get a fair value, and now I'm looking for confirmation, right? I don't want to just go in on the very first one now. Just want to wait to see confirmation. Oh, the market did me dirty, right? It just stopped me out, and now it's going to be heading for the target. There's the first buy side target. Oh man, it did me dirty. So I guess another way you could have tried to get in is when we went up above this down run here, we had a change in the state of delivery. A lot of people, they like to just go in on the change in the state of delivery. I've seen where, yeah, they'll just enter here and they'll put their stop down here. This fair value gap, I guess it came back down for this inversion fair value gap. Gosh. I hate it when it happens when you just get stopped out right away before it goes for your target. It doesn't give you another entry. It doesn't give you another fair value gap to enter. All right, so with this big displacement up, with it being a Friday, the day after a holiday, I'm kind of done with it. I mean, we could go for those relative highs. The only way I'm going to enter, excuse me, is if we get a retracement back into one of these. Well, let's go down to the 5-minute. So we did come back down here, but that's not deep enough. I want to see price come a little bit deeper, like maybe into here, right? Back into that new week opening gap. And then once we get a fair value gap to the upside after that, I will be willing to take it. So we do have a fair value gap. No, not yet. I guess we technically have a fair value gap, but I want to see these equal lows get swept first. And then if that's the case, we don't necessarily have to go back to the new week opening gap, but I want to see those relative equal lows get swept. Okay, it looks like my time is coming to an end here. and I'm pretty much done. But what I meant was, if I could draw this out for you guys, I wanted to see price come down here, sweep these equal lows. Once that happened, then I want to see it go up this way with a fair value gap here, right? So, and then come back down to pick me up. And I'm running out of room here, but then after that, go for the buy side relative equal high. So let's see if we get that at the end of the day, and we'll close this out. Man, unfortunate, didn't get in long here. Just stopped us out. And as you can see, pretty much just consolidation after that. So I said, like, once we took out the buy side up here, pretty much was done, and you can see why, because after that we pretty much just consolidated, didn't go for the next buy side target. So what could I have done today? I don't know. I felt like it was okay. My stop was placed well. It's just one of those days where it just wanted one more stop run before. I mean, I guess you could try like a turtle soup or something. The thing with turtle soup, I just don't know where to put my stop. But anyways, that's it for this week, guys. We are done with the month of November. So only one more month left before finishing off the 2024 backtesting series. And I'll give you a quick look at the spreadsheet so far. I haven't compiled the October and November data, but so far the overall, we have a 52% winning percentage, so a little bit better than 50-50, right? But you can see the average gain is much better than the average losses, so that's where we're making it up, and we have a net expected value. So far, 27%. We were up to like over 30 at one point, but last couple of months was not good. So brought us down to 27% year to date. This is our net, and of course you can see the total here. So that's how it is so far before we head into December. And thank you so much for joining me once again, and come back next time as we are finishing off with our last month of 2024. But until then, guys, safe trading.